Time now for another Boca Behind the Scenes. This is Dean Muccio here, and we're talking about the holidays and holiday events and safety that goes along with that. And from the Boca Raton Police Services Department, we've got Gwynne Friters here with us again. Nice to see you again.
Thank you, Dean. Great to see you too.
So let's talk about the holidays. Obviously, we think safety when we think large gatherings, people coming out, parking, walking in front of cars. Let's talk about road closures and areas that people should avoid during these events.
Okay. Well, we do have our holiday parade coming up very soon. And with that, we have a lot of parade goers and a lot of parade participators. So we've got a lot of vehicle traffic that's trying to get through the area, whether it's to their house or whether maybe they have a child that's performing as a part of the parade and they need to know where to go. If you aren't aware of those road closures, you could be in a position where you don't know how to get home, or you might not know where to pick up your child after the parade. So it's really important just to be aware that usually from Camino to Glades, the night of the parade from 5 p.m. to 11 p.m., we do have total road closure on Federal Highway. And that can extend into the off streets in between Dixie and Fed, because that's going to be where your floats are lining up and where lots of children are being dropped off and picked up from. So we need the community to be aware of that so they can really be extra on the lookout, because a lot of those kids aren't exactly sure where they're supposed to be going at any given time. And so we've got lots of families with young children who come to watch that parade and lots of kids participating in it. So we need all hands on deck trying to just be aware of what's going on in the area.
So the day of, the police department is probably very busy with road closures and directing traffic and getting people where they need to be.
Yes, we have dozens of police officers that sign up to work that specific parade, and it's all to make that parade work as efficiently and go off without a hitch, without any kinds of injuries.
When you have large events like this, what kind of safety tips do you have for parents especially?
A few things that spring to my mind in terms of safety is to talk with your children before you get to your destination. Maybe a special code word so that child knows not to go with anyone else. And if they're invited by someone that they don't know to go watch the parade or go somewhere, that they would know how to verify that is a stranger and not someone that they should go with. Recently, it actually made the local news where a young girl was approached by someone she didn't know, and she simply said to the man, "What is the code word for my family?" And he did not know it, and she knew not to go with him, and a crisis and a potential tragedy was very quickly avoided.
That's a great tip. That's a great tip, and that's something, as a parent, you don't really think about. You're busy getting your kid ready, and if they're involved in the event, you don't think about the safety aspect of it.
And as our kids get older, it bears witness that we should just keep going over those things with them, that just because they become a little bit more independent doesn't mean that they're not still at risk. It's a conversation that I have with my kids, every now and then as well. And then when you get to the parade with your child, make sure you set a meeting place. Like, I'm sure we've all done it when we go to Disney World. Hey, if we get separated, this is where we're going to meet up. Well, with these special events, it's getting darker earlier. It's already dark by 6 o'clock. We can be easily separated from our children. And if we have that predetermined meeting spot, again, crisis can be avoided.
What about around the house? What are some safety tips to keep your home safe, your family safe at the holiday?
Well, we want to see people taking the same precautions year round, but especially during the holidays. People are going to be aware that there's probably going to be more things out there available for people to steal, especially if you've got a tree right in your front window that people can see and the presents are, lining up. And so you want to make sure that if you have an alarm system, you don't let up from using it. Every time you leave the house, you should have that alarm on. And, technology has come so far, so quickly. Most homes now have some sort of technological feature, be it an Alexa that can turn on the lights, or a doorbell that has motion activation and camera. All of these features are so helpful to us. I went to a neighbor's house the other day and the lights were off and I couldn't see anything. And I said, "Alexa, turn on the living room light." and the lights just turned on.
Oh,
It was
wow.
incredible. I had no idea that they even had that system, but that's how common they are now
Right.
in our everyday lives. That, I went into her house to, help her with something. I couldn't see anything. Took a chance, and the lights turned on. But then again, that also means that if an offender gets into our house because
Sure.
we leave the door unlocked, now we're actually giving them assistance. So
And I wonder if you're at the front door and you say that really loud, if the lights would come on and they could look in your house. At least.
totally possible.
Yeah.
Totally possible
Wow.
because it's all, Wi-Fi enabled. So, the things that can help us can also harm us if we haven't taken those basic security precautions that we just can't forget. And that's to always lock our vehicles, lock our homes, keep those, windows locked, everything, set the alarm no matter how long we're leaving.
What about holiday deliveries? I mean,
That's a big one.
You need to try to work that out, I think. I think the delivery services are trying to be, I guess, more proactive as far as getting packages to you and getting them in your home or delivering to your office.
Right. And, well, it's great that you mention delivering to the office because I definitely think that people that have these doorbell cameras should be using them and taking a look to see about those deliveries. But let's say you don't have that at your house yet. What can you do? Well, actually, UPS stores will allow you to have your Amazon deliveries sent right to them. They will be basically the keeper of your belongings and safeguarding
That's
them
great.
until you can pick them up. So you could choose to have your Amazon deliveries routed to your office or to a local UPS store just to make sure that they're not taken right off your doorstep.
What about holiday shopping online? Do you have some tips for folks that go online, do some shopping online?
Yeah, absolutely. The littlest things can sometimes make the biggest difference. And just making sure that you are shopping on a secured website. So you want to look for that little padlock at the top of your screen or HTTPS as a part of the website identifier. Make sure that your information is traveling across an encrypted network. You don't want the ability for somebody to just have that access to your card information. So something as simple as just making sure you're on a secured website is very, very important. Another little handy trick is to have a credit card with a very low limit on it that is specifically used for online purchases so that if a fraud occurs, it limits your liability
Wow.
and your loss.
That's great advice. So, how about if you're out shopping? Your attention is I got to get these gifts for my family, and some tips maybe as you're going in and out of stores in that general area.
Well, year round we teach our self-defense classes called SAFE, and we kind of employ those same general guidelines, and they're especially true in the holidays because we're more likely to have more things that keep us from being able to get to our cars without stumbling over our own purchases.
Right.
So there's a couple of things that we can do. Number one, the stores don't mind if you take some of your packages out at once and take them out to the car and then come back to the store.
Yeah.
The only trouble with that is that if somebody's waiting in the parking lot to break into your car and they saw that you just put half of your purchases in the car, now your car's at risk to being broken into. So I know that our local mall at Town Center, they offer a shuttle service. That may be one way that you can safely get all of your packages out, and it's a free service. So they can take as many packages or as little as you've got, but they have a phone number that you can call, and it's 561-368-6817. And if you hit prompt number 2, it calls that shuttle service, and they will bring the shuttle right to your location at the mall.
Wow.
So you don't even have to stand outside if you're by yourself
That's a
when
great
you're waiting
feature.
for it. It's a really
Wow.
great service. Everyone should take advantage of it, especially if they're shopping alone. We hate to see people shopping alone. We talk about stranger danger with our kids all day long about safety in numbers and using the buddy system, but sometimes we forget that it's just as helpful for us as adults. So if you can shop in pairs or a group, that's definitely a way to not become that easy target, that easy mark. Because if I'm looking for somebody to rob or victimize, I'm going to look for the person who's distracted.
Right.
So staying off of your phone is important. I'm going to look for the person who's not in a position to defend themselves. So I'm going to look for someone with heavy purses and bags, on both shoulders and around both
Sure.
wrists. and I'm going to look for somebody who is alone.
And maybe if you're by yourself, you walk out with other people out to the parking lot, if you're not with someone.
I've done that myself.
Yeah.
Coming out of the mall, I will walk kind of with somebody that I don't even know, but I'm just walking nearby just to create that, presence.
Right.
That I'm not alone.
That's good. That's good. Shopping at night, same situation. Park near a lit place.
Yeah, try and park
as
near
close
lights.
to the door as possible.
If you're, a shopper like me, you go in at dawn, you come out, close to midnight. So you have to park next to lights because it's almost a guarantee that it's going to be dark when we come out.
Well, great advice. Great to have you here. We do have some holiday events coming up. Light Up Downtown Boca holiday continues. The 48th Holiday Street Parade coming up on December 5th. That's from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Police department will be out there, I'm sure. Sunday Jazz Brunch, December 9th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. FAU's Tuba Christmas. That sounds like fun. December 9th at 5 p.m. And the 42nd Annual Holiday Boat Parade on December 22nd. And that starts right around 6:30 p.m. So you guys get busy around the holiday.
We get very busy, and I always look forward to the boat parade. It's so much fun, and it really gets you in the festive mood for the holidays for sure.
Gwynne Friters, happy to have you back on Boca Behind the Scenes, where we talk to city employees and hear about the great work that they do and great holiday events and great safety tips. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me, and happy holidays, everybody.